How many times am I gonna have to walk back up these stairs into Markarth, man? For that matter, I've got a whole bunch of freaking stuff to sell off, and nobody's gonna be tending their shops at this hour, so I think I'm gonna just use the abandoned house here to get a nap in. That and the fact that, you know, if I sell my stuff off while I'm rested, I should like get more experience at Mercantile or whatever it is. So, 4 hours. I mean, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. It takes about 3 before all the shops open and whatnot. I'll take care of that secondary though. First off, I think what I want to do is I want to hop up to the to Understone Keep and have a chat with the court wizard. I'm in need of more lesser and common soul gems. Those seem to be the ones that I charge through the fastest. Petty, man. Petty, so like, you know, one of the things that I'm always doing whenever I play on my own time, is like I'll specifically go looking for like mud crabs to fill petty soul gems, because that, like, for some reason I like petty soul gems. I always think of mud crabs, not necessarily wolves. All right, no, that's.
I'm Calcelmo's nephew. I help him around the laboratory.
Excuse me.
What are you doing here? The excavation site is closed. I don't need any more workers or guards.
What excavation site?
Nchuand-Zel? The ruins underneath Markarth? The wealth of artifacts that I've based 2 human lifetimes of research on? You idiot! Do you even know who I am? The most recognized scholar on the Dwemer in all of Tamriel. And you people keep bothering me. I'm sorry, I got too excited. I'm in the middle of some very stressful work, and I shouldn't have yelled. How can I help you?
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be getting between you and your work. But I am curious now. You researched the Dwemer. Are you the one responsible for looking into, well, the ruin that Markarth is built into here?
Yes. Their history and culture is all around us in Markarth. A race of stonecutters, artisans, and engineers. They invented machines and built elaborate underground cities where they researched powers to rival the gods themselves. And then, at a time we are still not sure when, they disappeared. The whole people, all at once, leaving behind only their works.
I'm very aware of the disappearance of the dwarves. Fascinating, really. How such an advanced race just disappears from the face of Nirn. But on a more immediate topic, you also seem to have quite a few guards around here. What do you need them for?
To protect my research, for one. There are more cutthroat scholars out there who would steal my findings if they got the chance. And the excavations into Nchuand-Zel are dangerous. Dwemer machines and traps still function, even after thousands of years.
Well, I've been inside of more than one Dwemer ruin. I know how dangerous they can get. But if you're using the guards to protect your research as well, does that mean that the museum on the other side of the keep is where you store all of your discoveries?
Correct. It's a private place where I can catalog my research. Occasionally, the Jarl will come in and have questions, but that's thankfully rare. I'll let you in if you agree to something for me. There's a giant spider in Nchuand-Zel. My workers call her Nimhi, the poisoned one. If you deal with Nimhi, I'll let you into both the excavation site and my Dwemer museum. What do you say?
Oh, a giant spider is no challenge for me. She'll be as good as dead the minute I step in there.
Enthusiasm. Good. Here's the key to the dig site.
Thank you. Now, before I complete this task, the reason I approached you in the first place is I'm in need of arcane supplies. What do you have to barter with?
Spells and incantations, for those with the talent to cast them.
Alright. What else do we have sitting around here? Other than, you know, spider eggs. Oh. Dead soldier. What's going on here? Aletheus's note. Salonia, we've been saddled with some researchers who can't go 4 steps without examining something, and they fight about as well as you'd think. Probably worse. Strom at least has some magical competence, but none of them can swing a sword. Erge and Crag seem to be up to something, so I'll have to keep an eye on them. But Stauben assures me they're trustworthy. Aletheus. It's a very short note. Anything around here? Nope, nothing. Alright. Be careful, Vol. Don't step on the rune. Need to be careful. Seriously. Alright, well, we found this guy's journal. Strom's diary. I've decided to remain behind with one of our guards and further document the living area we've stumbled across. I write this to the best of my ability, but due to the sudden disappearance of the Dwemer, it's almost impossible to say for certain what anything is. The tree. By the Nine, I cannot determine the purpose of this tree. It appears to be from the area around Whiterun, but why and how it got here is beyond me. I think it may be a gift from the surface world, but based on the lavish surroundings, it could also be a display of power. I'll check the living area nearby for any additional clues. Living areas. Upon further investigation of the area, it looks like this structure houses 2 clans or families. I can think of no other reason for this particular layout. Perhaps this group oversaw this particular portion of the city? I'll have to compare notes from the other areas as we uncover more of the city. Hopefully some of those will contain more in-depth clues. It also appears a smaller wing has collapsed in on itself. Maybe when the expedition returns we can dig out an entrance. Falmer have begun to creep back into this area of the ruins. It's a good thing I'm not here alone. We've managed to block off some of the areas where we suspect the Falmer were coming through, but they're still getting to us somehow. Together we're able to hold them back, but how long until Stauben and the rest return? You little... Getting really sick of your shit. Jeez. Shadow Masters, man. I think that Shadow Masters are the ones that give me all the trouble. Ooh, hey, check it out. Ah, there we go. So, I mean, Shadow Masters... I know I've talked about this before. If I haven't, I'm amazed, but just the whole experience of having them double draw back their bow or something, like, I feel like they have access to the same perks. Almost everything worth it. I feel like they have access to all of the exact same perks as you do as an archer, where it's like, you know, reinforced drawback or something like I forget what the name of the perk is, but it increases your damage with bows. Come on. Gotta soul capture all of them. Jeez. Doing a good job there, Vald. Tanking the crap out of these things. Oh, well, I say that. Jeez. They actually got the better of my dear friend, Vald. Alright, you little douchebag. Come here. But yeah, to just to be, you know, sneaking along, doing your business, and then all of a sudden they see you, and you get one shot killed. I mean, I know I've spoken about it before, but just the fact that balancing is not something that Bethesda is really all that focused on whenever it comes to difficulty in these games. I mean, I know that a lot of people, I know that a lot of you who are watching have told me, oh, you really should turn the difficulty up because, like, you're just one-shotting stuff, and it's like, that's kind of what happens whenever you know, level up in an RPG. That's just the way that it works. I don't think that that's a good reason for me to turn the difficulty up, because then I run into, you know, like, Gloom Lurkers here, where it's 3 or 4 hits to take them down, and then I'm still incredibly squishy, is really what I'm after. I'm still phenomenally squishy. I am, by design, a glass cannon, and I suppose I haven't explained this too much for anybody who's come in, you know, super late, but the idea is, the special challenge of my character build here is that I am required to use hammers, and I cannot wear armor. The only armor that I get in this game is from using the alteration armor spells. So that's you know, the weird, like, class or rule that I've given myself. I'm not min-maxing my way through the game for a reason, and it's the fact that min-maxing is, like, basically what I do whenever I play a game through the very first time, and I don't know what I'm doing, and I need as much power as I can get, but once you get far enough into a game, it's like, nah, like, what's the point of min-maxing? You know, it's like I know the mechanics of this game. I'm not concerned about, I just don't need to be overpowered. Like, I don't see the need for it. I intentionally give myself challenges. I hinder myself. Like, there's a particular playstyle that I would like to give a shot to. Witcher playstyle, I guess you could say, where I'm always carrying a silver sword around and I need to use it on my enemies. Because silver swords actually do a very, very good amount of damage, and they have like a 20-point boost of damage against undead, Draugr, vampires, ghosts, and whatnot. Are there ghosts in this game? I can't remember if wisp mothers are actually ghosts. But yeah, if you haven't watched these videos before, this series, that's the idea behind it. That's the reason why it's like, why is he playing in such a weird way? Well, that's the reason. It's because I'm playing with the intention of, you know, a glass cannon. I'm a I have to get up in people's face because I use hammers, but I'm not allowed to wear armor. So, and you know, the longer that this series goes on, like if I max out my my alteration skill, maybe I'll turn around and start wearing armor. You know, if I max out my hammer skill, maybe I'll turn around and start using bows, probably, just because it'll be a nice change of pace. You know, switch it up halfway, well, at this point, getting more past halfway through the entire series. Kind of looks like the way I'm supposed to go. Nchuand-Zel always confuses me. It confuses the ever-living daylights out of me. But yeah, that's the whole thing with my character build. It's kind of the same concept and or idea that I had whenever I was doing Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. Fallout 3, I did, I think, a big guns character. That's really uncommon. And then Fallout 3, I think it was a no-repair explosives character with a backup of shotguns, you know? Come on. There we go. So I like giving myself these unique challenges in open-world RPGs, especially one as open as Skyrim, or Fallout for that matter. Oh, hello. Erge's note. How foolish to move through this place so quickly. It's taken me only a few hours to crack the back gate. Maybe I'll donate a cup or two. But Crag says he knows some private buyers who will pay handsomely for a working trinket. There has to be one in here. The side doors are all locked, but this chest should have one or two things of value. When I get out, I'm going to buy myself a castle.
Will do.
Oh dear, there's a short note. Quite clearly, he met a quick end, too.
That it?
Yeah, that's everything, Vald. I mean, I'm certain that you've maxed out on your weight. Oh, finally. Just going through so many picks on these things. Ah, lockpick up to 66. Not the magic number of 69. Oh, God. When is 69 never going to be a dirty joke? Never. That's when. Never. Or at least not until the English lexicon goes away. And even then, I don't know. I mean, geez, you know, I never talk about this stuff on YouTube videos. I usually stick to Twitch whenever I talk about this stuff, which I'll say out loud again. If you're watching this video just as it's going live, chances are I'm streaming on Twitch right now. There's a link to my Twitch page down below if you are interested. But, I usually don't... Jeez. Why the heck did my alteration skill go up? I remember hearing at some point that oral sex was considered sexual deviancy. Like you were a deviant during, I believe, the Middle Ages if you engaged in oral sex. Now, for one, I can imagine hygiene was not exactly the most important thing in those days. So, yeah. Crag's journal. I knew if we dug deep enough, we'd eventually hit some fresh ruins. Markarth, a city built upon a city. From the early pieces we recovered, we've determined that the name of the city is Nchuand-Zel, but past that, we've had very little info. We've been given an escort through, and tomorrow, we will delve into the city proper. It's only been a day, and already I miss my desk and chair. I thought it would be a little more fun to explore, but so far it's just been fighting spiders and getting to view an occasional rubble pile. Hopefully we get to the main ruins soon, so we can set up a camp and I can start cataloging some of the items I've been able to find. We found the armory earlier, and Erge has stayed behind to find a way into the main vault. If anyone can open the locks, it's him. We've kept going and settled up here for the night, since the guards say it will be easy to defend. But I've put up a few runes just in case. Not too bad. Alright, come on, Vald. Actually, you know, Vald, you kick quite a lot of ass with that Mace of Molag ball. I mean, technically, I'm the one who went through all the trouble to get my hands on it. It's just lucky for you that... Oh, that was a mistake. It's just lucky for you that I don't really need the thing. Or more specifically, that I don't use it. Come to think of it, what type of a... What type of a freaking awful, like... What type of Daedric artifact am I gonna give to my next follower? Because the fact of the matter is that Vald, like... I go through followers on a regular basis in this game. It's not that they die, it's just that there are other followers for me to go after. So, I guess what I'm thinking about right now is what type of Daedric artifact do I want to fork over to my next follower whenever I part ways with Vald over here eventually. Which I might say, you know, he's a marked improvement over my... Oh wait, hello. Stauben's diary. After making our way down the mine and through the spiders, we finally made it down to Nchuand-Zel proper. They've built this city into the very cave walls that house it. Amazing. Nchuand-Zel hums with life, but its guardians lay dormant. Hopefully we can learn more as we go deeper. This area seems to be where two of the city's families lived. We've spent some time studying this tree outside of the dwellings, but can't figure out what its significance is. Strom will be remaining behind with one of the students to further study this area in greater depth. I look forward to reading his notes on the subject. Today we entered the city's armory. The Falmer have yet to break into the best of the dwarven goods, thanks to the sturdy Dwemer locks. Erich said he would be able to get into the vaults and would send word when he's in. The spiders gave us much trouble, but who would have foreseen that they had been the only thing keeping Markarth safe? After exiting the armory, we made camp. But the Falmer were watching us, and they finally tired of our intrusion. They came while we slept and slaughtered what guards were left. Meridia, forgive me for using my students as a distraction to get away, but I have to bring this place back to life. Too many. Couldn't hit switch. Oh, what a grisly end to the entire expedition. Alright, is this... Hello, this must be the end. Alright, come here. Well, okay then. And what do we have in the loot caches? Actually, that's something. Cache isn't actually how it's supposed to be said. Not at all. If, like, every single time I don't know how a word is supposed to be pronounced, I go and check the Merriam-Webster, m-w.com. Very easy to get to. But anyways, I'm the type of person to look up a word. Ah, sure enough, there's a secondary loot chest over here. Almost missed it. I'll look up I'll look up a word in the dictionary, and interestingly enough, according to Merriam-Webster at least, it's never supposed to be said cache. It's only supposed to be said cache. So it's a weapons cache. It's not a cache. It's not a weapons cache. You know, so. Let's hope that Vald doesn't get lost as I backtrack out of here. Like I said, he's a marked improvement over my... Oh, holy crap. Oh yeah, I activated the defenses. Okay, there we go. But like I said, he's a marked improvement over Erendur for the fact that he doesn't talk all the time. But but he's also... Well, he's got really bad pathing, and I could try to find a mod to fix that, but... Eh. Alright, we're out of Nchuand-Zel. Well, almost out of Nchuand-Zel. I'm gonna have to sell stuff off, which means that I'm gonna have to do a runaround. Most everybody in town, I think, is kind of out of money at this point. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of that fancy editing stuff so you know that I got something done, and but I don't show it off. One of the wonderful things about this, if you ever see me stream this game, which I haven't done in a long time, it's really tedious because I like to go and like sell stuff off, and then it's like, I leveled up. It means that I have to run over here to like find the trainer and you know, train up 5 times, and then it's like, oh well, I mean, now that I gave him, you know, like 800 gold, I need to go ahead and, you know, I need to do my trading with him to get all of my money back type thing. Unless it's that guy from the Bard's College where you train up your speech. God, he just sucks down my money and it doesn't sell anything back, so I can't get it back. Oh, it's pain. It's pain. Anyways, Calcelmo.
I have things to study. What is it? The artifacts I've discovered in Nchuand-Zel will make history one day.
There's a lot more down there for you to still find, Calcelmo. But listen, I've taken care of your spider problem. Nimmy is no more.
You have my gratitude. That spider had been interfering with my excavations for months. As promised, here's the key to the Dwemer Museum. Mind the displays. Some of them are quite fragile.
Thank you. But, listen, I didn't stop whenever I killed the spider. There was a dead Imperial soldier down there with an expedition journal. I kept going, and aside of the massive size of the ruins, well, I found the entire expedition. And, well, did you know that they were down there? And that they just never came back?
Let's see. Ah, so that's what happened to Staben. Tragic. But I warned him he was leading those people on a fool's errand. Unfortunately, sometimes the stone of scholarship is built on the foundation of death. I'll inform the kin. Here, I usually pay researchers for their work when they emerge from the ruins, but they won't be needing it anymore.
Oh. Expedition gone wrong. Hopefully the next one will have more luck, Calcelmo. I'll be on my way. Maybe I'll speak with you again.
What? Oh, goodbye.
Always absent-minded. Alright, so, we're not quite done with the Reach yet. I think I need to head north towards Karthwaster next. Pieces for the Ethereum Forge.